This will be a quite a bit different video than I normally do, but it's a resources video that I've realized literally doesn't exist yet for NASB2, and that is how to DI and SDI and how they work in Nickelodeon All-Star Brawl 2. So, in terms of Smash Brothers compared to NASB2, because I think that's where a majority of these players are going to be coming from, is that NASB2 has a mix of what I'd call modern and classic forms of DI and SDI. And so in this video, we're going to be going over what SDI and DI stand for, what they are, and how to do them, as well as ASDI, which will be later in this video. So let's start off, what are they and what do they stand for? So SDI is S directional influence, or also known as Smash directional influence, or as I'm going to start calling them, Slime directional influence, just to brand it a little. But directional influence is what DI stands for then. And pretty much what do these things allow you to do? So the first form of this is DI. This is the original one. It allows you to do a couple things. There's two forms of it. There's combo DI and survival DI. Not to be confused with SDI, because they're completely different things. But survival DI allows you to save yourself from death by altering the launch angle you're sent at. And combo DI is simply just, it allows you to save yourself from being comboed. So they're kind of similar, and you might say it sounds fairly similar, but they're performed completely differently. And the second thing, SDI, which is Slime Directional Influence or Smash Directional Influence, whatever, is pretty much a thing that allows you to escape multi-hitting moves, single-hit moves, and just make it so that you're hard to be comboed. Like in the same way. Makes hits harder to hit the same way every time. Lets you get out of certain moves. So, the way you perform these things. And like I said earlier, there is two types of DI, and these are actually performed differently. But don't worry, it's not too much, so bear with me. Survival DI is what you do when you want to change your knockback direction towards the upper corners of the screen. And that's optimal survival DI. And the reason why is that more distance is required to reach the blast zones, pretty much making your kill prevented. If the knockback was high enough to push the character into the blast zones with the original trajectory, but not enough to do so with this new one created by DI, it pretty much lets you live. So for example, if the attack's trajectory is almost entirely vertical, holding the control stick horizontally is all that you need to do. Whereas if the hit is more to the right or left horizontally, it must be held diagonally at an upward angle. Combo DI is a little different, and all it is just simply holding a direction, usually horizontally, to avoid the next hit of a combo. So for instance, you get hit by Fox Nair or April Nair, and you get sent to the right. You simply would just be holding in or to the, so either in or out, so left or right, to avoid the next hit. Or maybe let's say you're fighting against Project M Mario or SpongeBob in NASB2, and you're getting forward aired into up throw. You could simply mix up your DI by holding in or out during the hits or after to try and mix up where you'll be when he tries to grab you for that next up throw loop. That's all combo DI is. Now, to perform SDI, you'll need to first hold a non-diagonal direction, and this is the one thing that's a bit different than the Smash Ultimate style of SDI, is that once you've chosen this non-diagonal direction, which is up, down, left, or right, you'll just need to wiggle the stick between two diagonal points in order to properly SDI. It's similar to Smash Ultimate's SDI, but it's a little different. So this one thing with holding it in a non-diagonal direction is important. It doesn't mean you can't SDI diagonally, it just means you have to start in a horizontal direction, or a non-diagonal direction rather. Finally, ASDI, and it's not very useful, but pretty much what ASDI stands for is Automatic Smash Directional Influence. It's pretty much just a weaker form of SDI. You just hold a direction, and that sounds super similar to DI, but pretty much to explain it, it's like pretty much in NASB2 only really used at the moment for a fake crouch cancel. And for example, what I mean by this is when somebody slime bursts you and you're low to the ground or on stage, ASDIing the burst hit like downwards cancels the stun you get, and that means you can actually punish them for bursting if it's low to the ground like that. So you'd hold down when you get bursted on, get hit, and then you survive, and don't get pushed back at all. So that's it. There's no, like, as far as I'm aware, there's no Sakura angle or anything like that for you to ASDI in this game. So there's no really applicable like situations for it besides that. But if something happens with that in the future, I'm sure there'll be other information related to that. So that's all there is for this video. I hope that this was helpful, and there doesn't seem to be anything like this right now in terms of resources for SDI, DI, and ASDI in NASB2. So if this was helpful to you, make sure to give it a like, give my YouTube channel a subscription for future videos, and I appreciate you watching it all the way through. And I'll see you guys all in the next video. Thanks for watching.